So we are live, right, Gargi? Yeah, chalo. आप ही शुरू करो.
You want me to start? All right.
Please.
Let's look at Gautam Gambhir's tenure as India's Test captain. 19
Coach.
Test matches.
Coach.
Sorry,
Coach.
You've done your job for the day. Devashish is happy now.
See, Shomik has jinxed it. I was starting off on such a serious note, but Shomik jinxed me completely. But yes, let's talk about Gautam Gambhir's tenure as head coach of the Indian Test team. 19 Test matches, 10 losses. In the past 12 months, we've seen two home whitewashes. We've also seen Indian Test team being defeated by the biggest margin in the history of Indian Test cricket. And today as well, Gautam Gambhir came out in the press conference. Lots of sweeping statements made there as well. Shomik and Debashish were there. They are joining us from Guwahati. Also joining us is Boria Mujumdar, Bharat Ramraj, and Rohit Juglan. Boria, let's start with you. Because of other commitments, you haven't been able to join us in our, post-stage lives or lunch lives, and we've been continuously talking about what's really happening with this Indian team. We're talking about structural issues, we're talking about selections issues, but if you look back on the two test matches, what are your highlights when I asked you what went wrong?
Yeah, I mean, you're right that I could not join. I've been following the shows, have been very, very kind of tied up with our foundation day and more. I will just take one point because there are a lot of people here on the show today, our full team almost. Gautam said that we need to prioritize test cricket. And Shomik and I were actually having a long offline conversation on this. Now, if you take that statement, we have to prioritize test cricket. Now, how will you prioritize test cricket? The question is, I'm making a statement and I understand where Gautam is coming from. We want to prioritize. How? So take Rohit Juglan today. Let me give you a cricket example. Take Cheteshwar Pujara. Cheteshwar Pujara was one of the best test players of all time, 100 test matches. Cheteshwar Pujara will earn in a whole year where somebody like an Ayush Matre or a Ayush Badoni or a Vaibhav Suryavanshi or someone will earn in one IPL season. And by the way, that's not enough. If you come to Kolkata, you will already see about 100 hoardings of Abhishek Sharma and that shaving gel ad. How many have you seen of Cheteshwar Pujara and Ajinkya Rahane in their entire career? The fact of the matter is, today, if Rohit Juglan has a child, or Shomik Chakraborty has a child, or Devashish or I, what will be the first point? The first point is play white ball cricket. Nobody in their right mind will say, I want to play red ball cricket. 90 overs of fielding, 20 overs of bowling in a day, and the batting grind. For what? What is the monetary reward? You will say, okay, Virat Kohli got so much credit. He sustained red ball cricket. Credit for what? Today, and that is a minuscule percentage who will pat your back and say, this is real legacy. When Virat Kohli is 60, will that legacy help him? No. He will need the basic money in his career of 15 years. So what is the urge? When we say prioritize red ball cricket, nobody will prioritize. You know what? I've done a column for tomorrow morning. We are now a prisoner of our own doing. The success of India's white ball cricket means we will be a gun white ball team, the best in T20, even 50 over cricket. But when it comes to red ball, our stock will shrink because it's practical. Now I have a solution to this. And there I will stop. You want to prioritize red ball? Today, do your post-mortem. We have enough money in our coffers. Let the BCCI come forward and say, anyone who specializes in test cricket will be paid more money than anyone that makes it an IPL. Give him 5 crores a season. 5 crores straight up, not 1,60,000 per match. 5 crores if you play all test matches in one season. 4 crores if you, whatever, the figure can be there. But it will have to be commensurate with IPL. Give me that same respect, money, lure, and tomorrow you will see somebody pick up the bat and say, I want to be a test cricketer because the credit is more. Secondly, change your central contracts. Fundamentally change. You cannot have white ball players and red ball players in the same contract because these are two different sports. White ball cricket and red ball cricket are fundamentally different sports. You create a template for red ball contract, which will be more. Someone who specializes in red ball cricket will be more money in a central contract, and someone who specializes in white ball accordingly. If you really want to prioritize test cricket, you have to make fundamental changes to the existing arrangement. Otherwise, you will play a West Indies or a Bangladesh or a whatever, and some good efforts like in England, and thereafter you will lose like this. The problem finally is we will, in 2 months' time, play the T20 World Cup. We will win that at home, at least make the semi-final or final, and I don't see India not making the semi-final or final. And the very same people who are castigating cricketers and Gautam Gambhir will take these people on their shoulders. We are a reaction of, nation of extremes. Everything will become hunky-dory. So that's my point. You want to prioritize, go deeper. Existing arrangement, you cannot ever prioritize test cricket because we are a prisoner of our own doing.
Shomik, you were there at the press conference. Obviously, tell us about what you asked Gautam Gambhir. But if we were to dissect or decode when Gautam Gambhir said that the blame lies with me, and also said that I'm the same guy under whom India did well in England, won the Champions Trophy, and won the Asia Cup. What are your thoughts about this statement?
Press conference today was a little different in the sense that it left a lot of room for interpretations and reading between the lines. Given that, I start with a few things. I mean, he played that Hollywood short selection and he spoke about care without naming them. We all know who played that, who attempted that Hollywood kind of slap against Marco Jensen in the first innings. And the fact is that he said, it has to be, you have to have care. It cannot be you are bigger than the team. You cannot think like that you are bigger than the team and it is about you. It's not the team. It's about the dressing room. And the fact of the matter is that I only play this way and I will not change my style. Come what may, I will not change my style. I will not have a plan B. So he targeted the players to start with. Once again, he spoke about the planning part without naming anyone. He said 3 days before the start of this test series, we were in Australia. Now BCCI is in control of planning, scheduling, everything. So, I mean, to whom his ire was aimed at. At the end of the day, he is the head coach. I don't think BCCI is doing the planning without, I mean, it has to be in conjunction with the head coach. Who took Shubman Gill for an inconsequential ODI series followed by a 5-match T20I series? Now Shubman Gill is injured, but even if you are playing, he would have come to that test series undercooked. There, I think the coach should have had a call along with the selectors. It is not that the BCCI picks the team. It is the selectors in conjunction with the team management that plays that selects the team. And also finally, he spoke about prioritizing cricket, the subject we are talking about. Yes, prioritizing test cricket is very, very important. Wasn't it a bit self-contradictory when you are saying that prioritize test cricket at the end and then you are playing the likes of Dhruv Jurel, Nitish Kumar Reddy in test cricket? You could have played. I'm talking about Devdutt Padikkal. I'm talking about the squad you have. Devdutt Padikkal. If you would have played, if you would have thought that we are a bit thin on batting, I don't trust, I don't have enough faith in my batting unit. I need an extra batsman. Then you should have played a specialist on this pitch. That got a good moniker from Kuldeep Yadav. You didn't need an extra batsman to start with on the face of it. And in that case, a specialist fast bowler would have come. Akashdeep, you had the specialist. And there was no, I mean, there was no impediment. If you would have thought that, okay, Devdutt Padikkal is a left-hander, there are two, there is, I mean, one left-hander too many. I need a right-hander. You could have brought in anyone from outside. See, the difference between these players are negligible. It's not that you have someone world class sitting outside outside this 15-member squad. Difference is negligible. But that planning also, go back to the England series. You were one there also. You didn't play. You yes, it's a creditable 2-2 draw in a series that India could have won. On those dry surfaces, you didn't give Kuldeep Yadav even a single game. You played bits and pieces all rounders, seam bowling all rounders. You kept playing them. So, what, to an extent, what Gautam Gambhir said, that Hollywood shot selection thing, I totally agree with. He said, okay, blame lies at everyone's feet, starting with me, that is fine. But at the end of the day, it was a bit self-contradictory also, because the chat at the end of the day, charity begins at home. What are you doing as a test coach in the test setup? It doesn't calibrate with what you are saying in terms of bringing that T20 template into test cricket, making team selection. And Gautam Gambhir is not a case in isolation. You have to talk about the selectors. Why are you picking? You are picking these guys like Nitish Reddy and all from IPL, right?
Mhm.
Do you go to domestic cricket Ranji Trophy matches? I covered two Ranji Trophy Bombay games, and they're
Exactly.
42-time champions. So
That's
I
exactly the
didn't see a
point.
single selector.
That's exactly the point that I was getting to, and I'll take the question to Debashish now. Debashish, Gautam Gambhir, when he says that you have to prioritize Test cricket and we all need to do it together, he's the head coach of the Indian Test team as well. When we talk about players like Chiteshwar Pujara, Ajinkya Rahane, who are still available for selection, the management said that we've looked past them. We don't want to look back on the past. And but how do you justify uh, Sai Sudarshan being in the team? How do you justify a Nitish Kumar Reddy finding a place in the red ball setup? What are your thoughts?
Dargi, the Indian head coach also did mention that it is a transition phase. And transition, you cannot get overnight results during a transition phase. Yes, you might win some, you might as well as lose some. And playing against West Indies and playing against Bangladesh is not the same as playing against South Africa. Let's just face the fact. They are the world test champions. They have done well in the past, and they have done well in the subcontinent, drawing the series against Pakistan. But clearly, you have to give time. If you feel that so and so player can be invested, then you need to give him that long rope. That is pure and simple. You cannot just judge a player by playing him for one or two matches and then chopping and changing, which has been the case for number three order. You play a Washington Sundar. I was talking to a few senior journalists who reckon that this has not been the case in Indian cricket in recent past. Means if you invest in someone, try and give him a longer rope. It happens with any field of work. You have to give him that time for him to settle down. Come on now. If you play a rash shot, then there's the head coach, there's the batting coach, there's the entire support staff, and there's a dressing room there. But clearly, when it comes to team selection, you need to invest in someone who you think that he can. And that is what Gautam Gambhir said, that you will win some during transition phase, you will win some during transition phase. So let's hope that this South Africa series might be the eye opener. There, as Somikta was saying, there will definitely be a review meeting. But let's not get under the carpet. That review meeting, whatever comes out of that review meeting, let's not get under the carpet, because next one year or so we play only white ball cricket. So whatever the decision is being taken, I think it will go on. Let's not let some constructive thing happen. One good
Okay.
thing that the BCCI done within recent times is to give an incentive to the Ranji Trophy players. Whoever goes on to reach the final, they will be paid an extra 1 crore. So I think that is, as Boryada was saying, this can also be a way to prioritize to so as to incentivize the players who rather would love to play Test cricket. We are in a situation where each and every cricketer would love to play in the IPL rather than playing in Test cricket. So this
Valid
is
points.
where
Yeah, I will go to Bharat now. Bharat, when Gautam Gambhir, and obviously social media, there is an uproar on social media about sacking Gautam Gambhir, and he also replied, or rather, slyly addressed it and said that it is the BCCI's job. It is not for me to decide. Indian cricket is more important. I am not important. What do you think of that statement?
Yeah, see, we have to look at it holistically. I think there are different layers to it. When it comes to Gautam Gambhir, I don't think he can pass the buck just to BCCI. There have been problems in relation to selection. There have been problems with regard to even toss. Right, going back to that Bengaluru test last year, when they won the toss, selected to bat with so much moisture around, let it be at SEG, so much grass on the surface. India picked two spinners. God knows why you would want two spinners in those conditions. It still beggars belief. It's something that blows my mind. And even at the Gabba, they didn't pick a tall fast bowler, and we saw the three tall Australian fast bowlers getting so much bounce. And right down to the England series in relation to uh, uh, India looking for little more batting depth. Even that was okay. That was fine. But in India, I don't know for what reason you would pick Nitesh Reddy as someone who's more of a wobble seamer, gets a little bit of swing at 125 kilometers per hour. In Indian conditions, it doesn't really make much sense. So there have been selection issues. So Gautam Gambhir can't say it's just BCCI's job. But having said that, to some extent, it makes sense to look at other salient features or other factors as well. As I noted in one of your live shows in the afternoon, that India's first class structure is not what everyone expects it to be or what everyone thinks it is. If you look at some of the best bowlers going around in first class cricket, there is one ex bowler. I wouldn't like to take anyone's name here. Ex bowler who averages 18.7 in first class cricket and he bowls 75 miles per hour. That is basically because a lot of Ranji wickets have grass and they stay low. So bowlers who bowl at 120, 125 kilometers per hour look like Malcolm Marshall, look like Glenn McGrath, look like Dennis Lilly in India's domestic cricket. So that is one thing. So India's first class structure also has to be looked at. Maybe there are too many teams. Maybe India don't organize too many A tours. Yes, they play A games in India, but how many times do you see India A team in recent past touring other countries? So that at least would help your batters to maybe get acclimatized to the conditions. And as Bore sir said, talked about white ball cricket. See, when you think about someone like Vaibhav Suryavanshi, sorry, you look at the kind of talent that he has, he can definitely adjust and play test cricket if he wants to. But going forward in 5 years' time, when Vaibhav Suryavanshi is about to play maybe international cricket, I'm not very sure he would look at test cricket as his main priority. So he would look at maybe looking to clear his front leg, hit sixes. That would be his main method, not about going across towards off stump, covering off stump and leaving deliveries. So I think that's another challenge that Indian cricket would have in terms of test cricket going forward, because I'm pretty sure a lot of youngsters look at white ball cricket as the main priority and their main choice.
Okay. Rohit, if I were to ask you, what are the immediate structural changes that you see happening in Indian Test cricket? Are there any that come across? Or do you think Gautam Gambhir will persist with this kind of template that we're seeing, having all rounders in the team, not having any test specialists? What are your thoughts going forward?
I think first of all there has to be, lesser kind of contradictions in his statements. Like one, Shamikda already mentioned, he was clearly spot on there that he is the one who was saying to Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, the guys have done, both of them have done each and everything as far as their 15, 20 years long career. And he wanted them to play the domestic cricket. All right, if you want them to play the domestic cricket, why not then when you are focusing on selecting a red ball team, why not you are selecting players who are doing really well as far as middle orders are concerned or the top orders are concerned? Why we have that you have chosen Sai Sudarshan in Leeds Test, then Karun Nair, then Washington Sundar, then Sai Sudarshan again, and we don't know that when you land in Colombo or Gaul for the first test in August, who will be your number 3? Is there a number 3 for India? I don't think that, they can zero in on anyone. That's why there was a call between Washington Sundar or a Karun Nair or between a Sai Sudarshan and then again Sai Sudarshan. The second most important thing is he used the word transition after that Manchester Test press conference. He said that I don't believe in transitions. I don't believe in these kind of words. The difference is when you win or when you draw something like that, what you did in Manchester, you can say with all the intent that we don't believe in the word transition. But now when you're losing in home 2-0 down, you're using the word transition, that this team is in transition at this point of time. So means either you believe the thing transition or you don't believe in the thing like transition. And then, as everyone has mentioned, that it's about what you want, how you want to build this team. Do you want to build this team around all-rounders who you will give the bowling to around 6 overs or 4 overs? And this is not the very first time. We saw in England what they did with Shardul Thakur. Shardul Thakur was waiting for his bowling turn till 40 overs, 45 overs, 50 overs, and you went seen a Shardul Thakur bowling. Similar thing have happened here. If you want an all-rounder, and in space of Nitish Kumar Reddy, you're giving him only 6 overs. In first class in last 1 year, he has only bowled 14 overs if you take all the test matches. And then you are making us believe that he'll be your test all-rounder in home conditions and in away conditions. And then when it's about the main role that you have to bat, he doesn't have skill that he can play well against spinners. Be it someone like a Dhruv Jurel, be it someone like a Sai Sudarshan. Look at a Sai Sudarshan, means he was there till I think 140, 130 deliveries, but how assured he looked. Means this is a question mark in front of his innings, that how much confidence he is giving to you. Is he giving you this kind of confidence? And then when all of this is coming, that sack Gigi and Gigi doesn't have, I know that he has done something which you can easily call a tactical blunder, but I think he is not the one who will tell a KL Rahul that just don't take your front foot ahead, go use the crease, go down the wicket if you want to tackle the spin, play some sweep shots. He is not the one who will say a Yashasvi Jaiswal that it's too close to cut and don't cut this delivery because you have been out 4 or 5 times since that oval second innings. He is not the one who will tell a Rishabh Pant that don't slog a fast bowler at this point of time because you are the captain and the batting is revolving around you. He'll not be the bowler. He'll not be the person to tell these kind of basic stuff. Or for a Dhruv Jurel who played
Right.
that kind of shots. So I think there's a lot to be seen, Gargi.
Of course. Boria, coming back to you, there's a super chat here and it says that 05 at home is not tolerable. My pals plan to organize all India 1 crore survey of guys with their reasons and demands to sack Gautam Gambhir. BCCI can't take fans for granted. Huge uproar on social media, in public, when it comes to Gautam Gambhir, his tenure as head coach. And of course, now people are asking Gautam Gambhir to be sacked. How do you see this playing out, Boria?
I don't take social media seriously, never did. Social media is rubbish. This guy who's saying this, whoever super chat on all this. I mean, if this is the case, then Virat Kohli would forever be till the time he dies captain of India. He's got some 50 million followers or whatever. How does it even matter? Social media is toilet paper. All this is bogus. Let's get to the basics. Is sacking Gautam Gambhir? Rohit made this point. Bharat, is sacking Gautam Gambhir your answer? Gautam Gambhir is of course accountable, 100% accountable. Who is saying Gautam Gambhir is not? But actually, KL Rahul makes the, take the case. KL Rahul is a classic case. One of the most improved batters is what we keep saying. Look at this series. He should have put his hand up. No Shubman Gill. Go win that Calcutta Test match. How many times will we say KL Rahul is fragile? Of course he's fragile. He had this opportunity to put his hand up. Yesterday, Simon Harmer bowls him a ball. People call it a beauty. The bat is angled. Look at that bat. KL Rahul goes forward, gets bowled. Now, put your hand up for God's sake. No Shubman Gill. You are the team's best batter. You are the team's opening batter. Put your hand up. Yashasvi Jaiswal. Bundle of talent. Same out. Eden Gardens, same dismissal. Guwahati, same dismissal. Multiple times, same. What did that ball do? Marco Jansen did nothing. The ball held its line when he close to catch to the wicketkeeper. What will Gautam Gambhir do? Go and sort of scold these boys. Possible. Gautam Gambhir's problem is team selection. That's where the accountability is. Now, how do you escape accountability for the batters? You mean to say KL Rahul is not accountable? You mean to say Jaiswal is not accountable? You mean to say Rishabh Pant is not accountable? How many Indians have you seen playing sweep? Tell me. Every South African has played that sweep shot. Put your feet out, play that sweep, nullify the spin. Except Ravindra Jadeja, nobody. Rishabh Pant going on a turning wicket with the bat, hits here, gone out. And you can understand, Rohit Juglan made this point, is 100% right. Out of the 140 balls that Sai Sudarshan played, 70 balls he could have been out. 70 balls he could have been out. He got saved because of that no ball where he did edge. After that, did Sai Sudarshan look to be a number 3 player? And I keep coming back to this. He will not be. Because tomorrow, if he tries to leave all those balls, he's not opening for Gujarat Titan. He will not. Sai Sudarshan cannot open for Gujarat Titans in 2 months' time if he is leaving balls. You cannot have a mental switch. Somebody asked this question. South Africans are also playing Tristan Stubbs and Marco Jansen. Jasprit Bumrah is playing all formats. Marco Jansen can. Take a spinner like a Simon Harmer. Simon Harmer was bowling the classical loopy off spin, of loop and flight and all of that. What is Washington Sundar doing? यार खींच के बॉल कर रहा है वो तो वही करेगा because that's what he's learned. He has learned the art to contain. When he goes into that change room of an IPL team, white ball team, whatever it is, his primary job is to contain. Simon Harmer doesn't have a 10 crore IPL contract to back him. He will do. We are a prisoner. I keep saying it. We are a prisoner of what we've created in terms of white ball riches. That's the market need. The market wants that. Think about a Jaiswal. IPL time, you will see a Jaiswal walk and a Cheteshwar Pujara walks. This guy who's asking this, his own question, 100,000 people will come and take an autograph from Jaiswal and 5 people from Pujara. What will he say then? What will he say then? Social media is bogus, Gargi. The fact of the matter is BCCI has to take fundamental steps. And the fundamental steps are like what I said, make red ball cricket. Tell the world, however much you play white ball, we will prioritize you less by giving you less money compared to a white ball legend. Make that point. Say India is the first country. This point that Bharat Ramraj made. Anshul Kamboj, 125k in England. Many other bowlers. Kolkata also, 120k, 125k, bag full of wickets. Why? Because we produce green top. Don't. By producing green tops, we've forgotten the art of playing spin. You've given these people this added weightage where they look like absolute West Indian speedsters of the 90s or the Australians of now. They are bogus. And what you are doing is mediocrity is getting rewarded by producing such kind of pitches. So I think you know what? First step, do a 4-member committee. Get Ravi, who was your coach. Get Rahul, who was your coach. Get Gautam, who is your current coach. And get VVS, who is the head of NCA. Get that committee to table a report in 1 month. A report that will say the way forward for Indian red ball cricket. You don't want them? Get that cricket advisory committee back. Tell me, why is that cricket advisory committee only there to pick selector, to pick head coach? They have no other role. You mean to say the Tendulkars of the world, the Gangulis of the world, the Lakshmans of the world can't be involved to create a template for red ball cricket? Get them back. Pay them money. Let them create you a template for red ball cricket. Each one I'm talking about is a legend of his time. 200 tests, 100 tests, etc., etc. That's when red ball priority will come. First, give the priority. Give the priority and then it'll happen. And if somebody thinks blaming Gautam Gambhir will solve all of the problems, Ravi Shastri, Rahul Dravid, Gautam Gambhir, VVS Lakshman, anybody could have come. You will still have the Jaiswal, Jurel, Pant, Nitish Reddy, Washington Sundar to bat for you. None of them were capable of saving this test match. I am sorry to say. Even if Tendulkar comes and coaches this team, it will not happen. That's the truth. But that doesn't mean Gautam is not accountable.
Shomik, there's a super chat here by... Yes, Shomik.
Before taking the super chat, Gargi, I totally agree with this in toto. Totally agree with this. Pray tell me just give me one reason why Washington Sundar would unlearn what he has learned over the years. Because in 2 days' time, he is going to a format where he will bowl faster, flatter through the air. Why would he do that? He would do that particular thing for a format where his bread is buttered. Simple. And Washington Sundar is just an example. So and also I mean, Gautam Gambhir, we can blame, and we are rightly blaming Gautam Gambhir for the strategic part where he has erred. But execution on the field, that is not related to there. He has no role to play. Simon Harmer has laid bare the tattered fabric of India's test batting. Now, I'm not talking about the A-listers, off spinners in India. I'm not talking about Saklain or Mutaya Muralidharan or Nathan Lyon or Graham Swan. I'm talking about the B-listers or C-listers. If you look at history, you would see only a handful, like John Bracewell in 1988, Sean Udall in 2006 in Bombay, and then Todd Murphy, Jason Kreza, three, four of them. They ran through India's batting. I'm talking about the B-listers, C-lister off spinners. But those were just one-off games. Those were just one-off games. I have never seen Indian batting, I mean, caught in a spin web by an off spinner in home conditions. This is what I mean. India's batting has come to. India's test batting and Gautam Gambhir has no role to play in that. No coach has any role to play in that because that is the execution part. You are Dhruv Jurel is playing that shot 10 minutes before tea interval. That is pure lack of game awareness. You cannot create that. You cannot create that. But why is Dhruv Jurel doing it? He has a 14 crore retainer fee with Rajasthan Royals. And I mean, that is how his muscle memory works. When the ball is there, he will hit. And he will not shed that instinct because just for a taste match. Because if he goes into the mode where he ducks underneath the bouncer, and if he internalizes that, he is not going to get a 14 crore retainer fee. So that is the thing. So this is the reason, and it should come from within, from the players. They are playing for India. They are playing. Just one more thing about transition. Collectively, Gautam Gambhir spoke about the transition. I don't agree with that. That transition is an excuse in home series, and also the entire setup, and Gautam Gambhir is not alone. Selectors involved, they have completely bungled the transition in the sense, if you look at Sachin Tendulkar's last 2 years, he averaged at 32, 33. Last 2 years, I'm talking about. But Sachin Tendulkar he was kept in the team because that team, when that was going through the transition, they need someone like Sachin with Sachin's experience in the dressing room. I just give you in 2012 when Virat Kohli scored that first century in Australia. Before that, even in the dressing room, he was taking jibes that ये कहाँ से एक white ball का player चले आए, and he just spoke to Sachin, and Sachin told him to trust his game. And when that 100 came, Sachin told him just 5 words: "Now you belong." That is the thing. That is why you need. I mean, this is how you handle transition. In that case, also we have heard.
Gary, I'll make one point and leave
Yeah.
because got another quick meeting before our call. So one quick point. You know what? IPL is a super billion-dollar success. IPL means every international batter now bats in India for 2.5 months on our pitches. Aiden Markram of 10 years back and Aiden Markram of now, chalk and cheese. We don't play international leagues. So Indians will play in South Africa once every 3 years, once every 3 years in Australia, once every 3 years in England. Every South African will come and play in our IPL every single year for 2.5 to 3 months. Indian pitches no longer have the aura that it had in the past, where we can battle oppositions out. We are a prisoner of what we have created. The fact is, and that's economics for you. That's market. From March 10th, 15th till June start, 2.5 months, each of these players will be training in that Lucknow track, Wankhede track, Kolkata track, Bengaluru track, Chennai track, whatever track, 10 teams. They'll travel across the country. Nothing is a surprise. So when India travels to South Africa, it is a surprise. But when Aiden Markram or Senuran Muthuswamy comes here, most of these players, Marco Janssen, people who have IPL experience, it is no longer a surprise. They've got enough research in that change room to know what they can expect. Plus our white ball gun-ho team. So There are enough and more reasons where we can keep saying Eden Gardens, somebody is saying, I said good team. Of course it was. 124, I still believe, had Shubman Gill been there, I told Shomik today, had Shubman Gill been there in that Eden Gardens team, India would have won that game. Gill, first innings, would have given us a 20, 25, 30 runs, and that was the difference. It was 10 versus 11 at Eden Gardens. If you play any sport with 10 versus 11, you will not go. And your best batter plus captain was out. So Eden Gardens, the question is application. Application, Eden Gardens, India should have won. 100% India should have won. It was the question of application, which we didn't see. Anyway, I'll let you guys continue. This is what irritates me. I would love to be on a show, but have to take another sponsor call. Thank you and apologies.
Thank you. Thank you, Boria. We'll see you soon, but we have a lot of super chats coming in, so we'll take them one by one, requesting everyone to keep their answers short because there's a lot of these super chats. Okay. Pronit Datta is saying you need some test specialists who have the habit of scoring big runs. Sai has 39 average, looked confused. Today, is that two? Today, bring back Sarfaraz, Patidar or Iswaran. Please bring back Shami. He's lethal in Indian conditions. Debashish?
First of all, means we cannot look back at someone who is in higher end of 30s. Means if you are investing, you have to invest in youngsters. I have no problem in calling someone like a Sarfaraz Khan who has age by his side, but no point in getting in a Mohammad Shami who is at a fag end of his career. And especially if he can mm, play all the remaining WTC matches. That is also an area. So clearly, that is not the way out. You need to invest in players who you reckon will last long. And Sami has been in prime, yes, but he has also been in his past. We have to accept. So clearly, invest in youngsters, getting anyone who you think that will get a long rope, and obviously someone like definitely not someone who is bits and pieces cricketer. I mentioned it, who is bits and cricketer. Don't invest in someone who is bits and pieces cricketer or who can be successful here and who cannot be successful elsewhere. Get in someone who can be successful in all conditions. We want players, specialist test players who can be successful in all conditions. Be it a Wankhede Stadium or be it at Eden Park. That's it.
Okay, the next super chat here is by SK. He's saying sacking Agarkar is as important as sacking Gigi. I think Bharat has taken this question quite a few many times. Rohit, why don't you answer this?
No, it's a simple answer that sacking is not the answer here. As Boryada said, Shamikda also said in multiple live that sacking either Gigi or Agarkar is not the solution. The solution is whether they can give you good batters or good bowlers, not someone who, you want to bowl 4 overs with and then batting wise is not doing really well. And then, getting those players who are very young, as Shamikda rightly gave the example of Dhruv Jurel, that, it comes with maturity. हिंदी में कहते हैं कि सब्र का फल मीठा होता है, तो वो सब्र करने तो दो. You are just picking them with 10 first class games. Harshit Rana under 10 first class games. Nitish Kumar Reddy beat Dhruv Jurel. It's not about that we are giving them much game time. Let them be mature enough to take these kind of decisions, on field decisions, and then it will be and it comes from both of them, or from Gautam Gambhir also and from Ajit Agarkar also. But I strictly say this, that sacking is not the 100% solution to this problem.
Okay, cricket with Dev Priya is saying, I will never forgive the way BCCI treated Rahane and Pujara. They would have been so handy in these conditions. We won BGT under Rahane. Bharat?
Why not say this in 2035 as well? We have to move on at some point. Rahane was struggling for enough years. Rahane was struggling for enough years. Look at his averages over the last 4 or 5 years. He was really struggling in his test career. His average at one point of time was 48. It went down to 38. There must be a reason why his test average went down from 48 to 38. So there was for a considerable period of time. Pujara after 2019, if you look at his test averages, it just went on a terminal decline. Was averaging 20s, 30s. So at some point you have to move on. Why not bring back Kapil Dev? Why not bring back Azharuddin, Sarkar? Yeah, I'm just saying because at some point you have to move on, and that is what happened with Rana and Pujara. Their test averages were on a decline, and Indian selectors rightly moved on from them.
All right. Another one here, Shix is saying, was it necessary to play 70% of main players in India A test against South Africa? Kuldeep and Siraj just played West Indies tests. South Africa figured it out how to play. In Sena, we don't play practice matches, not against playing practice tests, but then play domestic, not against touring teams. Shomik, what is your opinion on this?
No, they needed to play to get into the red ball group. In fact, uh, it was a mistake to take Kuldeep to the Australia series, and midway into that series, you sent him back home, asked him to play. Rather, I mean, if you were staying in India, he could have played Ranji Trophy matches. So your planning part, your preparation part, also Pakistan, South Africa came here play totally prepared, playing two test matches in Pakistan, and like their head coach said yesterday, that the win in the second test gave them a lot of confidence. So what we have been talking about over the last few days, the strategic part, the planning part, we have heard. The execution part, we came a cropper. We are no match to South Africa. So it is everything combined. It is not something you cannot cherry pick something that why Kuldeep played India A or why Mohammad Siraji. They needed to play India A because they needed to get into that test match group. Kuldeep was coming from white ball cricket. See, the biggest thing is, and this is what Shubman Gill also says repeatedly, that that making the transition from white ball cricket, especially T20 cricket, to Test cricket is the toughest thing for a batsman because of the mindset, because of the mental aspect. Because Test cricket is completely different thing. So from that point of view, going ahead, it's the previous question was about the sacking. It's not about the sacking. It's about better planning. It's about doing things the right way. Hopefully, but then again, you have to go to domestic cricket. You have to pick the proper red ball cricketers. I think hopefully, and maybe what I have been hearing, Nitish Kumar Reddy probably has played his last test match for India. Um, if he has not, he should. This should be his last test match for India. And going ahead, players like Nitish Kumar Reddy or the players of his ilk should never be part of red ball cricket because they are not red ball players. So they should stop picking uh, players for test cricket on the basis of performance. Sai Sudarshan, they didn't pick Sai Sudarshan because he scored a daddy, either a double hundred or a daddy hundred against Delhi in the Ranji Trophy last year. They picked Sai Sudarshan for Test because he had a fantastic 2025 IPL. So this is the thought process. And Sai Sudarshan, rarely do you see such a pathetic innings. I mean, 139 balls he played, he could have gotten out 5 to 6 times, and never for once he looked to be in control. It was so meek. He was never taking the pressure to the bowler. He was never even trying to rotate the strike. It was pathetic batting, and this is not the batting of a number three batsman. But then again,
All right.
your selection
I'll
has.
move on to the
So,
I'll move on to the
Gargi,
next super chat. Yeah.
yeah, Gargi, you please move on to the next super chat. I will take your leave because I have one more copy to finish. Because Temba Babuma spoke about that Rowell comment.
Okay.
And for our
Okay.
viewers, and for our viewers, what Temba Babuma said, and this man is dignity personified. Temba Babuma, this man is dignity personified. He said, Shukri is 60-year-old. Maybe going ahead, he will. I couldn't have a word with him because I was busy with the planning. I was busy with the planning for the day's play. So I couldn't speak to him about that matter, but maybe going ahead, Shukri will reflect on his comment.
That's lovely from Temba Babuma actually. But thank you so much, Shomik, for joining and your insights as well. Looking forward to your copy. All right, final few super chats because they just keep rolling in and we'll be here all day otherwise. Okay, Nomad Tibet is saying if we have to bring a new coach for test match, we should go out for an out of box hire, somebody great at domestic, not necessarily a popular name. There are multiple Nomad Tibet super chats, so I'm just going to read all of them out. If you want to save test match in the future, best solution is to stop picking players and coaches based on IPL performances. And the final one says Temba Bavuma gets all the credit for winning and vice versa. Gigi blamed for losing. No one is calling out the 11 players that were on the ground. Bharat, quick comment.
So two, three things came at a time. So I have to first
Now
of
you
all
have to give us the
think about
facts.
think about one by one. Yes, the first
I'll
one.
take a
See,
lot of time.
I'm absolutely fine with if you're looking at something like out of the box, going for a domestic coach. But yes, it's based on whether you have the experience of being a test coach previously. I think that would really help. Maybe with some other team, international team, even if is someone a very successful domestic coach. And as far as Gautam Gambhir getting blamed for losing, yes, see, Saban, I think he's been in the news for all the wrong reasons. So maybe that is why he's getting blamed. But yes, in the 11 players who played on the field, they didn't. They put up a shocking performance. So finally, in cricket at least, a coach can't go out and bat or ball for you. A ball for you. Finally, those 11 players have to execute those plans, and those 11 players didn't execute the plans, and that is why they flopped. As far as the last one is concerned, see, I don't think Ranji Trophy standards are as good as it should be, and that is why if you notice, Gurjanpreet Singh and Gurnur Bharar, these kind of players are playing straight away into the India A side. They're straight away getting into the India A side despite having played 4 or 5 first-class games. There must be a reason. So I think that is why IPL somewhere became a default mechanism for selection, which is the wrong way to look at it. But that is what the reality is. In Ranji Trophy, you get too much of 75 miles per hour bowlers are getting a lot of wickets. So something has to change there.
Oh, seems like Greg Chappell has also sent us a super chat. He's asking to take it. If your coach has the mind to play extra bat on road and make him bat at number 9, if you chop and change number 3 every match, GG sacking isn't agenda. 5-0 is history. All right, on that note, we'll take your leave. We've already gone on for close to an hour now. We'll be back tomorrow as well tomorrow, but of course, the attention now shifts to the WPL auction. It's going to be a mega auction, lots of bidding wars, lots of new squads and fresh faces promised to come into the WPL auction pool. So, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I'll be at the auction tomorrow, reporting from on ground on the biggest buys and the biggest takeaways. But thank you so much, Debashish, Rohit, Bharat, Shomik, and Boria who joined us. We'll be back very soon. Stay tuned.